Hi, I'm Susan Garrett, and this is Bobby. Knowing that a puppy's mind is fully capable of learning at such an early age, there's no need to consider putting off starting that puppy's education as soon as he comes into your home. The thing is, we need to consider how that education happens. My puppy controls when we move ahead to the next level of difficulty in our training by the success he's having at his current level. The success isn't defined by a level of precision or accomplishment, but rather by the fun being had by both the puppy and me. Let's take a look at what should be one of our dog's basic behaviors, the retrieve. If coincidences are in your favor, your puppy may learn to chase the toy, pick it up, run back to you as fast as he ran out to the toy. Unfortunately, that's not always what puppies learn. Take a look at these owners trying to play fetch with their dogs. From the outside looking in, this may appear to be just funny. However, if you're one of the owners of one of those dogs that are not bringing the toy back, it can be extremely frustrating. If you leave your puppy's learning totally up to unplanned coincidences, you're really rolling the dice with their future. Whether that's with less important skills like them not bringing you a toy when you ask, or even potentially life-ending ones like them not coming when they're called. Life is much easier and your relationship with your puppy far less frustrating when what your puppy is learning is strategically planned in your training rather than left up to chance. In this next clip, I'm going to show you how I manipulate the reinforcement in a young Border Collie puppy's world so that what appears like a coincidence to him is actually a very fun, strategic, interactive game that I've planned. This results in the foundation of a very reliable retrieve for this puppy in the future. Let's take a look at what I would call the perfect retrieve. The puppy holds a sit until he's told to get the toy, runs out fast, turns, picks up the toy, and runs back as fast as he went out. That is a great retrieve. It all starts with crate games, where the puppy waits for a release and is instantly rewarded with a fun game of tug. Notice when tugging, rather than moving at the puppy, I'm often backing away, engaging his prey instinct to chase me. Next, I test the value of my game by releasing my end of the toy and observe the puppy's choice. I don't coax him, I don't call him, but I do reward with my voice and play when he makes the correct choice to chase. This teaches the puppy to deliver the toy directly to my hand for a fun game. Changing directions when the puppy's chasing encourages him to run back to me as fast as he can so the game can continue. I'm quiet when he makes his choices and praise and play when he decides to come back to me. See how I touch the puppy with my hands on his face? This encourages him to hang on to that toy really tightly. Test number 2 is for me to drop the toy immediately in front of the puppy and turn to run away. Will he quickly grab his toy before he chases me? If he forgets about the toy like he does here, it's not a terrible choice. However, I don't want him to be rewarded, so I pick him up as I pick up the toy, and I remind him how much fun this toy is by playing a little bit by myself before we try it again. This time, the puppy does what I want, so that he can be part of the fun game between him and I. Notice all the celebration in the form of this interactive play? I want to make sure the puppy realizes what a wonderful choice he just made before we move on and try another short retrieve. Now this time, I'm going to try and just reward him for a quick little retrieve, chase me back, interactive play, and we're going to grow the game. I'm going to throw the toy just a little bit further. This is like a grown-up dog retrieve, and what a brilliant retrieve I get. There's no calling, there's no helping the puppy. It's about him making good choices and me celebrating the choices I like. Now, after all of these tests, it's time for the puppy and I just to have some flat-out fun before we go back to putting in more layers. For this next session, I want to work on him sitting before the game starts. So I'm going to get down on the floor. You might do this in a small room or even with your puppy on leash. Once again, the game starts with lots of fun between the puppy and I. I want him to learn how much joy we have together. I'm going to add a quick little rule. I want him to sit before the joy begins. So I will once again wait to see what his choice is. When he eventually sits, which of course he learned in crate games, I'm going to praise him, not give him the toy. And we're going to restart the game with him chasing the toy. I want him to learn that sits need to happen fast. And when they do, I'm going to reward him immediately with another great game of tug. I got to take away the stress of that last moment before I attempt to do any more training. So sit, quick game of tug, sit, quick game of tug, and now we'll start another layer of training. Chase the toy, and if you sit quickly, we play. If you sit slowly, I'm just going to pat you. So now chase the toy, and I'm going to try and just bop the toy on the ground. And every time he moves, I'm just going to keep playing the game. And when he makes the good choice of not moving, big celebration. When the puppy can once again hold a sit, just as he would have during crate games, which he showed you at the beginning of this clip, his reward is his release word that tells him our tug game is now on. And now look at this, a young, barely 4-month-old puppy working on all 5 key layers to a brilliant retrieve, done within a 4-minute fun-filled learning session. This is exactly how I train any behavior with my puppies. Behaviors that create both a well-behaved family pet and a brilliant competition dog. Share your story in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.